I bet you didn't know about the woman who had her unborn child abducted. Yes, I said unborn. There is something called fetal abduction. It's where a pregnant woman is attacked and has her child forcibly removed from her stomach. The abductor then takes the child and tries to pass them off as their own. Between 1983 and 2015, there had been 18 cases of fetal abductions. This happened to Michelle Wilkins, March 18th, 2015, in Longmont, Colorado. She was lured to another woman's home. They had made contact through Craigslist. Dynell Lane claimed that she had baby clothes that were for sale. Michelle had no reason to think anything other than she was telling the truth. When Michelle arrived at Dynell's home, Dynell attacked her by bashing her over the head with a lava lamp and stabbed her in the neck with the broken glass pieces. Then she strategically cut out her unborn child. For months, Dynell had been telling everyone that she was pregnant. The day of the attack, she told her husband she miscarried. After cutting the baby out of Michelle, she rushed the baby to the ER, claiming that she had a miscarriage and she needed help. 20 minutes later, after Michelle had made a chilling 911 call, which you can listen to the whole thing on my YouTube. It's far too graphic for TikTok. Michelle arrived at the hospital. She was frantically telling them, "Please, I'm 7 months pregnant." She hadn't realized what had happened. And she was absolutely devastated when she was told that her baby had been forcibly cut from her body and did not make it. This baby would have been Michelle's very first child. Dynell was found guilty of first-degree attempted murder, 2 counts of first-degree assault, 2 counts of second-degree assault, and unlawful termination of a pregnancy. She was sentenced to 100 years in prison. Now, warning, the phone call is absolutely chilling. You can hear Michelle fighting for her life, fighting for her baby's life that she still thinks is inside of her. How you can hear the hope in her voice when she realizes the police have arrived. So you can head over to my YouTube, which is Jamie13 Horror, and find the full 911 call there. I bet you didn't know about Mr. Cruel. This video suggestion came from Balsalis. I think I said that right. They sent me a donation, then told me what they would like for me to do a TikTok on. I'll explain at the end of this TikTok how you can also do the same. What makes Mr. Cruel so terrifying is he has never been identified. There is a $1 million bounty on his head. August 22nd, 1987. In Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. An unknown man wearing a ski mask broke into a family's home at 4 a.m. armed with a knife and a gun. He bound the hands and feet of the parents and locked them inside a wardrobe. He tied the son to his bed, and then he assaulted their 11-year-old daughter. December 27th, 1988, he broke into a family's home at 5:20 a.m., armed with a handgun and wearing a ski mask. He bound and gagged the parents and demanded money. He then took their 10-year-old daughter, put duct tape over her eyes, and abducted her. She was released 18 hours later on some high school grounds. July 3rd, 1990, he broke into a family's home at 11:30 p.m., armed with a knife and a gun while wearing a ski mask. He bound and gagged the 13-year-old girl, took her to another location, then molested her on and off for 50 hours, then released her at a substation. April 13th, 1991, a man wearing a ski mask broke into a family's home at 8:30 p.m. He was armed with a knife. He abducted 13-year-old Carmen Chan. Her decomposing body with 3 bullet holes in her head was found years later. Now, they can't exactly tie this one 100% to Mr. Cruel. They don't want to make an assumption that it was the same person, but it very well could have been. Police describe Mr. Cruel as insanely intelligent. He meticulously planned every attack, conducted surveillance on the victims and their families, cut the phone lines during every invasion, and left 0 forensic evidence. So still to this day, no one knows the identity of Mr. Cruel. Have a specific subject or story you'd like for me to talk about on my TikTok? Here's how you can do so. You can send a donation to my Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, or you can use the tip option on TikTok if it's available. Just make sure to include your username in the notes. I'll follow you back and then send you a message. Then you can tell me what you would like for me to do a TikTok on.